A Smackdown roster member defects to Raw. Was Raw recorded behind closed doors? And a huge stable breakup happened all last night. My name is Ben, I am your host of the 5 Moves of Doom podcast, and this is exactly what went down on Monday Night Raw. Braun, Dolph and Big Mac are out to start the show. Dolph says they are officially now the best 3-man unit in history and cues up a recap of last week's main event, as well as a clip of Ambrose saying that he doesn't really fit in anywhere anymore. We cut back to the ring and McIntyre tells us that they broke the Shield last week and tells us all that Seth and Roman were the only ones that ever benefited from the Shield. McIntyre goes on to argue with Dolph about which one of them three is the best in the world, whereas Braun ends this little mini segment by saying regardless of how good they are, they will both get these hands. The Shield's music hits, but only Roman and Seth come out onto the stage. Seth tells us all that the Shield is 100% fine and that he will prove that he is the best in the world tonight. Roman gets on the mic, Dolph actually boos him down his mic. Roman tells Dolph and Drew that they will never get close to these titles, despite them already being tag team champions. And the whole segment leads to set up of Seth versus Drew right now. Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins did happen right now. It was a World Cup qualifier. This match kicked off properly. After Dolph got involved to help Big Mac, Ambrose made his way out to stop Ziggler to his own music. After a load of outside shenanigans, Seth hit the stomp on the outside and rolled back to win via countout. Backstage, Dean takes exception to being called a lunatic and walks away from Seth and Roman. A quick look back at how the DX reunion came about next. I hate recaps, I really fucking hate recaps. But wait, the recap transitions into a very eerie video response from Kane and The Undertaker. They say that HBK is scared of The Undertaker and that's what kept him retired all those years, not the respect he claims he's lost for him. Long story short, at Crown Jewel they will end the DX reunion, rest in peace. This whole segment seemed to be recorded in a warehouse corridor, kind of expected hell to be a bit more, hellish. Ember Moon and Nia Jax takes on Dana Brooke and Tamina? Isn't she a Smackdown star? Wasn't she trying to help Lana's career? And what actually happened in No, wait, sorry, that's been answered and it's a Smackdown story. Anyway, Raw. This match went as expected. They tried to do the Nia and Tamina face-off thing, but only about 4 people cared, and 2 of them were Michael Cole. Anyway, Ember hit the Eclipse on Dana Brooke for the win, and after the match, teamed up with Tamina to eliminate Jax over the top rope as they announced the Women's Battle Royal for Revolution. But it was Dana Brooke who would stand tall, because after Tamina tried to eliminate Ember Moon, Dana Brooke would eliminate both of them. Is this a push for Dana? No, it's probably not. Rousey is here next to talk about Nikki and Brie and the attack last week. She asks for an explanation, which brings out the Bella twins. The Bellas say that they owe Ronda nothing and yet continue to explain why they attacked Ronda, and say that Ronda's disrespected the Bellas by just being here. Nikki explains that she and Brie made the word diva mean something and made it strong despite the fact that we don't use the word diva anymore. Ronda gets back on the mic and tells the Bellas that they are stereotypical divas and that she has never seen such desperation for attention. Ronda came so good at this point, it was unbelievable. Relics of the past, plagiarising your men's movesets, the zingers were flying left, right and centre, and she threw some amazing shots at the Bellas. Nikki and Brie told Ronda that they've been breaking down doors for years, to which Ronda replied, "The only door you ever broke down was the door to John Cena's bedroom, and even he eventually kicked you out." Oh my god. This was a career-making promo from Ronda, and I'm sorry, I don't care who you are, you will not convince me otherwise. She was perfect again. Has anyone had a better rookie year in WWE? She's up there. Next we go backstage to where Gable and Rude are talking to Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle is wearing a full Bermuda holiday outfit. Corbin confronts Angle and tells him he won't be able to keep up at Crown Jewel, so to help him out he'll book him in a warm-up match, and that match will be a handicap match against the AOP tonight. Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler for their World Cup qualifier was next. It was an okay match. After Big Mac tried to help Dolph, Seth came out and cleared off McIntyre, and he tried to help Dean back into the ring, but Ambrose didn't realise it was him and pushed him off, and walking into a super kick in the ring, Ziggler takes the win. After the match, Ambrose and Seth get in each other's faces and Roman has to come out to calm them down. Out comes Corbin to tell them that the Shield will not be breaking up on his watch and announces that the main event of tonight will be the Shield again taking on the Dogs of War again. This was a main event of a pay-per-view 3 weeks ago and now it's a throwaway made-up match on Raw. Wow. Finn Balor and Jinder Mahal was next. The Singh brothers are reunited and Corey has to tell us, as we probably wouldn't have noticed otherwise. Finn wins via the coup de grace, but immediately Bobby Lashley's music goes off and he makes his way to the ring with Lio Rush. Lashley is in full heel mode, just posing on the turnbuckles while Lio Rush does Lio Rush things. It came out this week that Lio Rush is reportedly taking direct lines from Vince McMahon, and listening to what he's saying about Bobby Lashley's physique, I 100% believe that. Lashley took on Tyler Breeze next, and the match did get started, but only after a few more minutes of Lashley posing on the apron. What do you want me to say about this, really? It went exactly as you would think. 100% squash match. Poor Tyler Breeze. Trish and Lita are out next, but before they can say anything of note, Bliss and Mickey are out to do the best impressions of their Iconics gimmick. They are literally doing impressions of impressions at this point. Crowd was dead as hell throughout of this whole segment. So Kurt is just being the conquistador now, is he? Okay then. This handicap match against the AOP is up next, and I think we can all clearly see where this is going. Corbin is watching on from the ramp as the AOP squashes Angle with about 3 moves. When, after the match, Drake Maverick tells him to pull the mask off, and when it's pulled off, it is not Angle at all. Angle comes from behind and Angle slams Corbin on the stage to get one up over him. This should be one of the talking points of Monday Night Raw. The acting general manager and the actual general manager going to war against each other. Yet, instead, it's a throwaway afterthought on Monday Night Raw in the middle segment. Shocking. Natty cuts a promo on her way to the ring next as she's getting up next to take on Ruby Riott, and she says she's not stupid enough to come down to the ring on her lonesome and get jumped by the 3 of the Riott squad. She's got backup and Bayley walks out, but as Corey points out so efficiently, oh, that's still only 2 people, they're still outnumbered, where is this going? Sasha Banks. It's Sasha Banks, people. Sasha Banks comes out, a big return from injury, and literally nobody cares. Not a single person in that arena cheered. This isn't a reflection of Sasha, by the way. The crowd has just been dead for the past 3 segments. This is terrible. Well, the match ended by disqualification after the Riott Squad did Riott Squad things. Natty, Bayley and Sasha stood tall after clearing the ring, and yet still the crowd remained silent. It's really bad. Ladies and gentlemen, Elias. Well, it's cheap heat, but it's effective heat nonetheless. The fact that he still gets these reactions after 18 months of doing the same thing week in, week out is a testament to how good Elias is. He's interrupted by Apollo Crews this time. I liked Crews' reasons for stepping out. He's bored of people getting past him and he's fed up of being overlooked, so he's here to make a name for himself. I really hope this helps both guys step to the next level, but at the end of the day, Apollo Crews' lack of personality is so blatant. So let's spice him up a bit. Titus O'Neil should have been the answer that he needed, but for some reason that's been thrown by the by. And it's main event time now, guys, as the Dogs of War take on the Shield for what feels like the 17th time in about 4 minutes. This match was pretty decent though. There was a bit of tension between Seth and Dean early on as Dolph threw Seth into Dean again, but Roman tagged in to calm them down, but leading all 3 members to get wiped out by Braun. McIntyre and Braun provided the tension over on the other side as they both blind tagged to prove that they are the top guy, so to speak. Later in the match, Dean had McIntyre beaten, but Dolph pushed Seth into Dean again, breaking up the pin. Dean had had enough at this point. Went for the dirty deeds on Seth, but Seth backed and pushed him off. Dean got a zigzag for his trouble. Dean kicked out of the zigzag, making it the least effective finisher in the world. The match continued. Roman cleared the Dogs of War for a bit. After an accidental Claymore kick from Drew to Braun Strowman, Ziggler tried to hit the zigzag on Roman, but Roman countered as only Roman could, just in time for Seth and Dean to roll into the ring and hit the triple powerbomb on Dolph Ziggler for the win. Hashtag the Shield is fine. Who isn't fine? The Dogs of War. As after the match, Braun cleaned out Ziggler with the running power slam, but as he turned around, he got hit by the Claymore kick again. This time it was intentional from Drew McIntyre. Drew rolled out of the ring and left to his own music on his own, leaving Dolph and Braun laid out in the ring. Is this a face turn, or is he just going it alone as the Scottish badass that we all know he is? I'll tell you what, let's find out what Jack thought.